Hey, let's just get into it today. I am running a little bit late, even missed this morning's trade, trying to get things sorted out with my audio this morning, but I think I've got her dialed in. And of course, now that I start streaming, oh, it is there. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, so yesterday I wasn't able to hear my playback music, and now today we got it, and I like that better. So we got the audio a little sorted out a little better. We're going to get into it. It is December 13th. I've just missed the trade this morning, but that's okay. Let's get into it, see what's going on. So yesterday on the 4 hour, we were waiting for this to happen. We talked about this yesterday morning. We were waiting for this thing to come down and get in my little pocket that I made with these green perforated lines here between $40,400 and $40,700. You can see we wicked in there last night. I did not take that trade. I played a couple yesterday. You saw me give the setup yesterday morning. Yesterday morning I took this trade. I always tell people that oh no, sorry, was this? No, that was it. So this was the entry I gave on the live stream yesterday. And I took this long here. I closed it right away. That was 13% on a 10x trade. That's beautiful. We're just getting warmed up here, and we want to stack percentage gains. So I took that. That was nice. I took this again here. I took a second long. I ended up closing it here. I ended up closing it here just above the Fibonacci retracement level here. And then sure enough, it calmed down last night and gave us that wick down to $40,400. So that would have been the nice entry. I should have just put a limit in, but I'm not overly worried about trades right now. But you can see this thing popped right back up and got on top of $42,000 here. So yesterday title was 40K showdown. It seems that we have sort of got what we like to see. See this thing kind of level out and the pressure come off. I'm not super sold on that being it for downward pressure though. So today we got the FOMC meeting today. We got Marty Boggs, Shirley Sound in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I need those sound effects going. Gotta get some sound effects going. Yeah, so I mean, we're at 42K now. Are we gonna hold 42K? I'm not so sure at this point because we have the FOMC meeting today, and if they pause rates, things are gonna stay the same. And maybe we get that last little bit of a leg up before the end of the year, and they maybe book some profits in Q1. It's been a good year. I don't know if anybody necessarily needs to take profits right now. If this is a cycle change and we're at the bottom, maybe they got a couple years, 5 years, 10 years in mind, right? So I don't know about seeing a massive leg down. And lots of people are talking about a big dump, and I just don't know. I just don't know. Now, that being said, I did think the daily chart could come down just as everything else did. Basically, we came down like this. We retested the 60, and then it dumped right below the 30% RSI. So it's done this basically on every other chart so far. Is it going to do this on the daily chart now is what we want to see. So we've got just basically today to find out if they pause on rates, don't do anything. That's priced in. People are expecting that. Then this thing will just keep moving slowly and hopefully get back up into the 44K range. But if they increase rates, if we have one more increase, which would kind of create the black swan event or whatever you want to call it, we have one more increase in rates. This thing dumps on us. The daily dumps down to 30% RSI, so that the weekly and the monthly can carry on as such. So we still got a massive break above the 60% RSI on the monthly chart, and that's stronger than anything else in my opinion, right? So you guys can say it's going down all you want in those lower time frames. That to me means nothing compared to the lowest we've ever seen on the monthly RSI bottom, and now back above 60% through all of that. And just as I like to tell you too, there ain't no fucking such thing as a bear market. I'm gonna keep on that. I'm gonna stick to that thought, because these things go up and to the right, and sure, there's down trends, right? The thing's got to go up and down to make this stair climb for us to get to heaven. Stairway to heaven. Fuck my life. Yeah, I mean, it's just this is where you DCA. You know what I mean? Let it ride, DCA. Let it ride, DCA. And you can even DCA on the way up. It doesn't matter. With Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. The only time you lose is when you ignore it and when you stop buying. When you stop, if you stop buying Bitcoin or you sell your Bitcoin, that's when you lose. You should always be buying Bitcoin ABB. And that's just the way it is. And that's just the way it is. So that's too bad we didn't get that trade. I was messing around with my audio and all kinds of stuff this morning, but that's all right. We'll wait. Probably get up and tap this 42.4 here, which is the 50% Fibonacci for this downward move that we've had from $44K to $40,000. And that's what I'm following. Fibonacci's right now, Fibonacci and RSI. So unfortunately, we did miss that trade this morning. Like, it literally just happened when I was messing around and trying to get all set up for the stream. So we didn't get in there on that one, but that's all right. We're going to keep it going. See if we can't get another one today. So we got the FOMC. The FOMC is in a couple hours here. They're going to basically have a decision of whether or not rates pause, hike, or decrease. Now, that being said, they do have to decrease, especially in Canada. So RBC, Royal Bank of Canada's got like 40% of mortgages due for renewal in 2024. And then another, like, it's almost 60% of Canadian mortgages throughout the other banks too. So Royal Bank of Canada plus whatever other banks are going. There's about 60% of Canadian mortgages up for renewal in the next year. And we can't afford to keep these rates the way they are. The economy in Canada has gotten really, really poor. And it's because we've relied on housing, and we now have too many people for the amount of housing, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it, because we have more land per capita. Like, we should have the cheapest. Like, it should be very affordable for Canadians to buy a home based on the amount of fucking land that we've actually got compared to our population. But we take in way more than we can provide for, and we have a labor shortage here, and we rely on housing, right? So we build 250,000 houses a year, maybe, if that, right now, maybe 200 to 250,000 homes a year, and we're taking in 500,000 to 1 million people a year. So our housing market is just surged, and that's what we rely on. We don't refine any of our own oil or gas or do any of that jazz. Like, it's just, it's kind of silly. It's kind of silly. We should be flourishing a lot better than we do. But yeah, the pendulum swings right and left, and they continue to just take the money, and that's just the way it goes. But now there's Bitcoin, so that's why we buy Bitcoin, and our protest is taking money out of their system, because that's what they do to us when they're sick of our protests, right? So we're sick of them, and we buy Bitcoin for that reason. And if you did so, you're up 160%. I know the dollar isn't up that much. That is for damn sure. Our Canadian dollar's down big time. Like, it's actually, the conversion rate is actually disgusting. When I send money from a Canadian exchange to a trading exchange, I'm always like, oh man, that stings. Like, our dollar's just, it's plummeting right now. It's plummeting. And it's funny because we're coming up on election year too, so the pendulum is swing. We're all the way to the top of the left, and people are going crazy. But as soon as it swing back the other way, it's like, you know, who was the government when shit went tits up fucking 15 years ago, right? Pretty sure it was the other side. So it doesn't matter. They're going to say they're going to fix it. They're not going to fix shit. It's going to get better just because it's by default. That's how the cycle works, right? That's how the cycle works. And then we'll grow tired of the fucking right. Away we goes. The metronome, the relentless march of time keeps going. And they keep bashing us in the financial system. Shrinkflation is a real thing too. So I've been seeing these things now where, yeah, okay, prices have gone up. So since the crash in March 2020, things have, you know, really increased in price. So we're seeing this big increase in price, but we're actually just seeing a decrease in the dollar. We're seeing a mass exodus of the dollar. Markets across the globe have gone up substantially. The exponential growth that people are getting in their fucking bags over the last few years is nothing like we've ever seen before. So, you know, we are getting hurt, but we need to realize that it's better for anybody else. It's better for the capitalists, the people who are actually playing the game and paying attention and beating inflation. It's better for them than it ever has been. And the rest of us are just running around and screaming and yelling in the streets and this and that. I'm not going to get into it too much. But, yeah, all we have to do, the revolution is digital now. It is. So there's no amount of protesting in the streets that's going to change anything at this point. I mean, okay, some social structures have changed because of protests. I shouldn't take everything away from protesters. But things are different now, and you can literally protest just by fucking benefiting your own savings account. You can protest the government and all the fucking bad things they do with our monetary policy just by stacking your own fucking savings account. It's wild, right? And that's the reality. This is gonna do more than a lot of these street protests and rallies are doing. They don't care. They want you to do it, right? Your street protests and your rallies, it's good for them. It's good for the economy, right? You guys all come in and buy up all the Starbucks and buy up all the whatever in the areas. It's good for the economy. So keep it going. Keep protesting. It's good for Bitcoin. But if you just bought Bitcoin, it'd be better for your protest. 2 viewers. Who's in the chat? Let's ask some, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about this morning? We are on our way again, but we got the FOMC. We got some decisions coming in from Jerome Powell. Will take the stage and tell us some bullshit today. And then it'll flip this market one way or the other. And so what I'm looking at, we got 42K, 43K as a resistance here now. 38.2% fib of this retracement is 41,861. So we just took that. 42,394 is a 50% fib of this move from the downside, and we want to hold above these 2 red lines I've drawn in this pattern, in my opinion. Oh, fart. Don't want that. So here's the bullish pennant that we drew quite a few weeks ago on the episode of Your Future Hand. We told you this thing was probably going to trickle up and see a big wick out of here and a blow off top for the year. Now, I've kind of changed my perspective. I did think that this thing had a chance to run to 50K, and I still do if they pause rates. If they just pause rates or decrease rates here, this thing is got no reason to come down. The only reason that it's going to have to come down is if something big happens in the news or if they increase rates again. If they increase rates one more time, curb inflation a little bit more before they turn the money printers back on next year, then this thing will crash back down. And that looks like this green line next to me. And that'll be the annual support line coming in probably $37,500 to $38,000 if this thing dumps out today. And it will get volatile today. Volatile, or maybe that was the volatility right there in anticipation of this, because it bang on hit this support line. Maybe I'll just flip that one green. Yeah, let's flip that one green. See if we can hold about that. Would you slow down? This is an original tune by J Biggs. Would you slow down? I should slow down. Do I ramble? Do I talk too fast? It's all right. It's all right. It's the way we do it. Ramble. Anyway, yeah, let's see what happens. We're on this daily here, and like I said, I do think that these charts kind of follow each other. We're starting to see a little bit of distribution there. We're still still consistently making lower highs in the RSI, even from this bullish pennant. It's kind of started building a bearish divergence. You can see this is one long bearish divergence on the daily, and we knew that we needed to calm these down so that the other indicators can just keep going, right? So we had the weekly RSI. We targeted at 80 to 80, but like just when we were right here. So we crossed 70%, and I was targeting 80 to 84% RSI on the weekly, and we topped out at exactly 83%. So bang on target there. We called the exact bottom. We've called the top at this point so far, but like I said, I think it has a chance to keep going. So if this comes and down, this looks great. And this is just a dip in the trend out of here. So maybe this we take one more dip. If they pause rates here, then we have another chance to have another leg up and potentially hit the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level from the 2022 bear run. Now gonna have to change my fib chart because my fib chart was on the Binance BUSD. Now with BUSD being removed from the picture and Binance dealing with some issues, the value that's been traded in the Bitcoin and BUSD market is just going down, and I don't think this is going to be an accurate measure for me much longer, if any more at all. So we'll have to move our fibs. But anyway, 50K we're going to say is our 78.6% fib. you can see we're a couple $100 or $100 higher on the Binance US dollar chart for Bitstamp. And that's what I'm waiting for. So it's still a couple hours till the meeting, and I was like, oh, maybe I just do a long stream and let this be run. But I don't think I can let it run that long. That just won't work. But yeah, we're in it. We are in it. We're doing this thing, the market scopes. We're doing the lives coming at you. And things look good. So we're going to keep doing this. We're going to bring it to you over on the Bitcoin Broadcasting Network. The Bitcoin Broadcasting Network, BBN. We're going to start up there pretty soon. Going to get some things loaded up over there on BBN. Don't forget to check us out there. Coming into Christmas here, so we might slow down. Going to be spending some time with our holiday time with their families and doing those sorts of things, and maybe running around doing some little road trips here too for myself. So yeah, we're gonna try and keep these lives going though. Anyway, you're gonna do these lives here at least until Monday. I do have some content prepared to launch the BBN channel. That's what I wanted, was just to get at least like 5 videos up and a good homepage for the YouTube channel before I started doing the lives there, just so people had something to find, because the lives are actually hidden on another channel. But if there's anything you want to know coming into this week, you know, let us know. Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. Did you take some profits? Are you thinking about taking some profits? Are you going to hold on because you know the halving's just around the corner? And this dip really just means nothing. If you've been holding on and DCAing all year, you don't really need to take profits right now. You can just continue to DCA and get more at cheaper prices, because we know this thing's going to continue on in the next couple of years, right? So yeah, and I mean also too, like altcoins, my profit from my altcoins is doing really well. I like even this dip here on BTC, because I took some profits between $39,000 and $44,000 there, and at the top, and put them into altcoins. There is the slightest difference in my portfolio now, because whatever Bitcoins come down, my altcoins have actually made up. And ADA is back above 60 cents. Like ADA is crushing right now, ripping. Just drove out to Souk. Marty drove out to Souk, road tripping. That's good. Yeah, road tripping. It's crazy out there. Like our island here, Vancouver Island, is growing like wildfire. The wildfire community that we grew up in is just going crazy. And out to Souk, because it used to be kind of just the boonies. You can still go out. It's a good place to go out and go hunting and stuff like that. But it's yeah, everything's made of pavement now. They want to tighten us up, stack us up. It's funny because they keep tightening us into tighter spots of land, and for some reason the value of that said land just keeps going up. Housing is a fucking scam. Housing is one of the biggest fucking scams, especially in fucking Canada, man. And that's why, I kept telling people over the last couple of years that your money is better off in Bitcoin. If you didn't buy a house before the pandemic, your money is better off in Bitcoin. Oh, you're crazy. That's crazy. Too much risk. Well, fuck. The proof is right here in the charts. I was right. I was telling you 3 years ago, your money's better in Bitcoin than a house right now. And I wasn't wrong. I wasn't fucking wrong. Even if you DCA'd right from the top, like I said, it doesn't matter. Side job Sally. Old side job Sally. Don't hurt yourself out there. Took some profits last week, had some good times, DCA'd back in already. I got to figure out how to, I know there's a way that I can pop these chats up, the chats will pop up on the screen, but we'll get all that figured out at some point. Side job, what's he up to today? Marty's a man of many trades and many talents, actually, but quite the talented boat builder. But he welds and builds aluminum fishing boats that run for fucking $1 million a piece if you gear them up right. There's something else, actually. It's all because of investors. Bitcoin will erode it all and make life better for everyone. It literally fixes all the problems. It can improve education. It can improve healthcare. It can improve political policies and legislation. It's going to improve everything. There's so much going on and so much nonsense going on that we pay for as tax dollars with our tax dollars that aren't fucking, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, we're just getting hosed, and they're not even fixing nothing with it, right? They can't. It's gone too far the other way, right? The hyperinflation is real. You see what they're doing in Venezuela? I should have, got some videos prepared. Let's see if I can actually get that pulled up. In Venezuela, the crafters and the artists there are using the money to make like beautiful art sculptures, and the way they're folding this money and making art to sell, because their money's worthless, but they can sell it for a few $100s a piece because their fucking art pieces are unreal. All of our art. Let's see if that works. Side job, Sally. Recycled paper. I can't find it. Saw this video anyway, but basically like origami or whatever, but they're folding up the money, the Venezuelan bolivars, because it's worthless. So they're folding it up and they're making these sculptures out of it, but they're able to sell the sculptures for multiple hundreds because they're just beautiful, right? But I mean, their money is worth nothing. And that's what happens with any paper currency, right? The only way to keep it going is through inflation. And the American paper currency is what runs the world, and they have blown things way out of proportion, and there's no going back. There's no coming back. The only way is forward, and I believe that's Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin fucking fails, we got way bigger problems. Like, man, I would just rather you have to believe in something, right? And if you don't believe in Jesus, and you don't believe in God or Allah or any of that, if you're not a religious person and you don't believe in your government, you probably don't believe in yourself. You got to fucking believe in something. So first things first, you got to believe in your fucking self, because nobody else will. That's one thing they don't teach you. But fucking, you got to believe in something. And money and value is 50% of everything that we fucking do. So you have to believe in something. And wouldn't you rather believe in Bitcoin that's not run by anyone except for the community that chooses to be a part of it? Right? No one makes any decisions. We are the voters. We vote on the price together, right? And it's only going up. It's the most valuable thing that's ever been in existence, right? $41,909. 10 times the value of the stock market. They will soon see. They will soon see. Bitcoin is the investment winner. Then families will be able to buy a house to live in. Yes, they will. The future is bright for those who don't get distracted by the BS. You know, and it's funny because what is the Charlie Munger there, the investor that just died, and one of his quotes was, "You have to be a smart investor and move with the times," and shit like that. And it's funny that he says that, but then he never had anything good to say about Bitcoin. So he was a guy that says just that you've got to see these things that will grow in the future. Like 20 years ago, Amazon was in an office. My workspace is nicer than Amazon's original office, right? So you just got to be patient. You got to see and you got to believe. You got to believe in something, because like what else do you got? You just not believe and you just keep fucking trudging along the relentless march of fucking time until the grave. Like, man, this Bitcoin is like, it's the first ounce of fucking hope that we've seen as far as value goes, right? Unless you knew how to play the stock market and your family's been in and you were privileged and you had some financial literacy, then that's great. But for most of us, especially the kids that grew up in Langford, we don't have none of that, right? It took us a long time to figure this shit out. And for me, it actually took a fucking back injury and time spent just fucking digging around going, what the hell's going on with this money system, man? If I can't use my body, what the hell am I going to do? And I figure out it's all a sham. There's a man behind the curtain fucking pulling rods and wires and levers and shit, and it's all crazy. Berkshire Hathaway is having the worst year to date in its earnings. Yeah, of course, because people are flooding to Bitcoin. Look at this. You can't say that they're not. $500 billion has come into Bitcoin this year. $500 billion. People can't even fathom that amount of money. They don't even think that amount of money exists. But $500 billion has come into fucking Bitcoin this year, right? Almost $1 trillion into the crypto market, right? all this money is because people know that the U.S. dollar system is not going to fucking last. It's not going to last. It's not. Think about the amount of money that's been exchanged in this last few years in here. Trillions of dollars. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of this? Like, why do you want to keep ignoring it? Why? Because you know that admitting that Bitcoin could be a brighter future is admitting that you've been wrong your whole life. Is that what it is? Who gives a fuck? Sometimes we're wrong. Doesn't fucking matter. I'm fucking wrong all the time. I was probably wrong 3 times in this live stream. I do not give a fuck. In the wise words of Elon Musk, go fuck yourself. On that note, I think it's it. Might do multiple lives today. If this thing starts going crazy, I'll just maybe just jump back in. But yeah, stick around. Catch us in the next one. Go fuck yourself. Bye.